Hey everybody, how you feeling today? Or tonight or this morning, depending on what time you are watching this video. Welcome to another segment of my board games. So what do you say, want to play a game? The game I have in mind today is a very special one, dear to my heart, known as Hangman. And no, you're not seeing things, that is Vincent Price on the cover, believe it or not. Vincent Price, the iconic movie actor, known as the Master of Horror. And I gotta tell you, I love Bella and all the Universal monsters, but with all due respect to them, this man right here, Vincent Price, my absolute favorite. Vincent Price was born in May of 1911. He starred in over 100 films. My personal favorite one from the man, The House on Haunted Hill. Okay, forget about that movie remake that came out years ago, and forget about that Netflix movie. I like the Netflix movie, the Netflix series, I should say. I'm not knocking it, but they didn't have Vincent Price. I strongly recommend, even if you're not a fan of the man, to check it out. House on Haunted Hill, the original, in black and white, with Mr. Vincent Price. I remember when he passed away. I was a junior in high school. He passed away in 1993. October 25th, 1993. I remember that as a man. It got me here, you know, because I didn't know the man personally, but I felt like I did. You know, growing up an only child, and my dad leaving when I was 4. And I have lots of friends, still do today, but I had some bullying issues. Who didn't, right? But you know, when I felt alone or sad, I had Vincent Price. I had his movies, and every Halloween I watch all of his movies. I know people say The Fly is better, Tower of London, Dr. Phibes. Like I said, House on Haunted Hill, Last Man on Earth, my two favorites. The Last Man on Earth, based on Richard Matheson's I Am Legend, in my opinion. The Will Smith movie was great, and other remakes of the Omega Man with Charlton Heston was great, but if I had to pick one, the one closest to the book for that time frame, Vincent Price. Last Man on Earth, also recommended if you don't know the man or haven't heard from him. I watch his movies every Halloween. I'm going to start that in a few weeks, as I record this, it's Halloween time. So now Hangman. So Hangman is basically traditional. Now the history of Hangman, I didn't find a lot. I know it has a dark history. Back in the 17th and 18th century of Europe, criminals who were sentenced to be hung, unfortunately, they felt like they can claim to play the right of words and life, and it was literally hangman. The executioner get a piece of charcoal on some kind of piece of wood or whatever, and the person, you know, criminal being executed would have 5 guesses to guess the word. Every time they missed a guess, you know, like back then when they, you know, hung these guys back in the day, there were 5 legs on the hanging stand, the noose around their neck, as it were. And obviously, whenever there's a wrong guess, the executioner took a sledgehammer, cut out one of the legs. After 5 guesses, you can pretty much guess the rest. Yeah, that's the way Hangman evolved to the game we know and play today is from that. I know supposedly in 1864, 1894, it showed up in that Victorian era as a fun game. They called it the gallows, a hanging. And that's still, I couldn't find a lot on it, but I grew up playing in school, and we don't know the dark history about Hangman. But as far as the game goes, yeah, Hangman, it's just what it sounds like. 2 players, there's a red and a blue, very similar to the Battleship setup. Now right over here, this would be the word that you would have to guess. Your opponent would have to guess these words right here. That's what you have to do, right? And over here, there's the word you're trying to guess. You have to put Bandy on there. I don't know if you could see it. And once they would guess the word, you do whatever you got to do, and you shuffle it around, and you start guessing the word. Now here it's going to look backwards on you guys, but even though it looks backwards here, you flip them over. Even though on the camera it does look backwards because of our angle, you have to realize the person sitting across from you with the blue case I'm about to show, well, the censors won't let me show the rest of this word right here, but you get the idea. And yeah, so even though it's to us it's backwards, but if you're a person on the other side, it's the right way. You can pretty much guess the rest of what I'm, you know, trying to play here. And like I said, of course, the word you're trying to guess, you can work with it right there. And I put Bandy there. I don't know if you can see it. And there's a bunch of tiles. You know, there's tiles here. There's every letter, 2 of each letter actually. And you build up and you play. I mean, I remember playing this years and years ago, and I came across it, and it was something else. And the thing is, you know, Hangman is a hard game to begin with, but here's the blue player. And this right here is actually, you would get 11 chances to guess the word. I'm gonna give you try to get this camera angle as best as I can. How's that looking there? See, 11 chances. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's game over, obviously. Then you start over. And again, the same setup. Lots of number tiles in there. They're all in there. 2 of each letter. You know, playing this for hours as a kid. It's actually funny. This game, I had it. I used to play with an old friend of mine, this Greek kid, you know, and his brothers years and years ago. I don't know where I got it originally. I actually had to buy it again. It got lost somewhere over the years. But luckily I came across it on eBay. Got a great deal on it. My man Vincent Price, like I said, Vincent Price holds a soft spot in my heart. But yeah, that's Hangman. It's regardless of the dark origins, you know, a lot of us grew up with the happier version that we play in schools to this day. Yeah, that's the rundown on that one. Great 2-player game. I was too young to drink at the time, but I'm sure if I haven't played this in that much longer, in so long years. But I remember how much fun we used to have, you know, with the Greek kid and his brothers. A lot of fun, and I'd bring the game over. They'd come over here, and back then it wasn't, you know, beer or anything. It was chocolate milk and soda and chips. You know, the good old days. Right, so yeah, Hangman, check it out. Milton Bradley, Vincent Price. If you're a Hangman fan, you can actually find it on eBay. It's 1976. This came out in 1976. So the first time I had it, I don't know where it might have been a gift or something. I don't remember. I actually had to rebuy it. 'Cause, you know, there's a lot of games I love board games. I always have. I think board games don't get the airtime they need. They need some more pull, you know. I think I talk to so many people, you know, all ages, and board games are forgotten for some reason. So that's why I do these segments here, you know, not call them my board games, because, you know, I can't go out there, and I wish I could. I can't go out there and buy every board game. I can just give you a rundown on what these games and tell you stories of what I used to play and just share them with you. So hey, come by anytime, play some Hangman. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. See you in the next one.